Hello guys and welcome back. This is part 12 of creating a cartoon animatable ninja in Blender. In this course we're quickly going to texture some things and prepare everything so that we can animate and then just get ready for the render. So let's start with the rocks here. Let's just name the material rocks. Um, I have a shortcut to go into my node editor. It's just a shader scene I set up. Just for anyone who doesn't know how to get there, just pull out a window and go to node editor over here. Go to material and here you have the rocks over here. Okay, so I'm just gonna work in my window here. So yeah, for this rock material, we're gonna remove this and bring in a principled shader. I really like working with the principled shader. And then we're gonna bring in an image texture. So I have textures set up from cgtextures.com. So just go into CG Textures, search rock, and yeah, choose whichever one you want to use. I can't give these away, but you can get them for free. Just create an account, and yeah. So here I have some rock. I'm just gonna look for one that I'd like to use. I don't know. Let's see this one. So we drop that in like that. I'm gonna bring in input texture coordinate here and just bring it from the object because we don't have UVs. And then if we drop that in here and in the layers we only look at this layer and we add it to material, we will see the rock here. Okay, so we have some stretching on certain parts. Apply rotation, nothing changes. Okay, so let's go in here, U smart UV project. Just give it an island margin of 0.03 maybe, and hit OK. Okay, so now we change this from that to UV and it should look a bit better. So we're definitely gonna have seams and stuff around here, but yeah, I really want to see something here before we did the UVs. Sorry, so I don't want the UVs undo until before that. See the texture changing. Okay, do we still have UVs? No. Okay, cool. So I really don't know why this area here is stretching. Might be the shape of the wall. So let's, I mean of the rock. So let's try generate it and see what it does. Maybe if we bring in a converter, I think, no. The mapping node, where are you? It should be converter. Oh, I always battle to find this thing. Oh, okay, there it is. So here we go. So let's try object again here, and let's see maybe if we scale it up. Okay, so this is not the way to be texturing things. It looks really bad with the stretching. Yeah, I don't think we can fix that. so finally I'm gonna go back to the UV setup and just unwrap this Smart UV project, same settings, and we've got that. Now we can just bump up this, maybe put it up to like even 4 or something. Try and hide all that stuff as much as possible. So that's acceptable for me, so I'm gonna keep that like that, and then we can duplicate this here, turn it into non-color data, bring in a color ramp, and I have node wrangler, I think that's what it is. It's an add-on that helps you work with nodes. So node wrangler. So just enable that. I think it comes with Blender. And yeah, then with Control Shift and left click on this, I get to see the outputs just of this part. So let's bring the blacks up a bit and bring the whites closer to that. I don't know, something like this. And we can use this as a normal map. So we bring in a vector, the bump, and then we bring this output into the height here and take that into our normal map. Strength is going to be way too high, so I'm going to try 0.3 to start off with. And just before we move on, I want to just duplicate this here and let's maybe take more whites. Something like that, and this will become our roughness. So we'll put it in the roughness and put the specular to like 0.6. We'll see at 0.6 for a start. And now we can come back and view this, and so 0.6 is going to be way too much, 0.3, maybe even 0.18 or something like that. So yeah, our normal map, I don't know if we bump up the strength. Yeah, so the normal map is quite hectic here. Let's see if I invert this, something like that, and put it on 0.4 just for now, but we're most likely going to bump that down some more. So there we go, our rock is textured. Now we're going to do the sand over here. So once again, I just want this layer visible, and we're going to isolate this by doing that. No, let's take it back. We want to have the rock with us, and now we can select this, and I go back to my viewport here, sorry, and I do that here, select that and the rock. Okay, so what I want to do here is shit, I'm still in the wrong place. Okay, so what I want to do here is create a mask for the sand here, like a yin-yang kind of style. So I want to turn this way, and I'm kind of gonna do it like that or something. So I have just a picture to kind of help me out with that. So I'm gonna like start it here and do something like that. So this is gonna be far from perfect, but anyway, let's just go into texture paint, waste no more time. Missing data. Okay, so we need to add UVs, I forgot about that. So just simply AU project from view. Sorry, undo that. You project from view bounds, and now we should have a flat unwrap like that, which is cool. And yeah, so now we can add a paint slot, diffuse color. I'll call this sand uh, no, sand mask. And once again, I don't know why I'm sticking to 2K, but let's just make this 2K as well. Don't need an alpha. And okay, so what I want to do is grab the paint bucket. So I'm gonna go to brush, fill, and I want to fill this with a dark gray like this. Okay, so it's quite confusing here with the background. Actually, let's just go back to black. That's fine. Then I'm gonna take the white, choose my draw brush, go to white, strength full, and let's just see what my stroke does here. Okay, so it does have a fall off, but I've got the lazy brush, so remove that. Okay, great. So I'm just gonna start here and just do something like that. Okay, so maybe I went a bit crazy with the white, so I'll come a bit back here. So yeah, maybe something like that. And then what we can do is come zoom in here and just make a black area here around the stone. So I might have done that too much, so let's just try and get it better, something like that, and go to the whites and do the same on this side. So there we go, we've got this funny yin yang thing. You can maybe edit this a bit better, make it a bit bigger. It seems like it could. Okay, great. So now that we have this mask, we can go out of texture paint, just go into the UV image editor here, select this sand mask, and we just want to be sure to save it out. So F3 sand mask compression, and yeah, save it. Okay, great. Now we can go into the material editor here. We've got the sand mask. We want to delete this. I'm going to bring in the principled shader once again. I'm going to bring in a color mix RGB, okay, and here I'm gonna have a light sand color, and here I'm going to have the same but darker, something like that. Okay, and then we can take this, which looks like that, and we're going to drop that into the faculty and bring that in here, and normally that's what we're left with. Okay, So that's just our texture with this, and now we can go and bring in a texture, image texture. And once again, you can go to cgtextures.com, look for sand. I already downloaded one. And if we look at the sand here, I just need to bring in the input texture coordinate and this stupid ass thing that I couldn't find last time, the mapping. Take it to UV in there, and let's just try and see how this looks. We need to scale it up, maybe 3. Maybe we could have tried 0.5 first. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think it needs to be smaller than that, so let's say 2. You don't really need to do the Z because there's no actual Z here. And yeah, so we've got the sand, and now we need to go Shift A, color. Actually, we can just duplicate this guy. We want to put this in the bottom and this one in the top, and then if we look at it, it's mixing like 50-50. But if I say overlay, maybe it's a bit better. We got this sand look, one darker, one lighter. And yeah, so if we drop that in here, it's how it looks. There won't be much specularity at all here, so like 0.05 or something. It's going to be a lot of roughness, but we'll create the roughness map now. We're going to create a normal map, but I as well want to try and make something else. So I'm going to bring in a texture and a wave texture. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in a color ramp here and drop that inside, and let's have a look. Okay, so let's see if we scale this up to like 3. Okay, so we need to give it some coordinates here. So let's see what UV does. Let's try object. Okay, so maybe object, and we scale it to 1, something like that. Give it some distortion, something like so. Add some detail here, maybe distortion 7, we'll give it a detail of 6, and give the detail some scale as well, and we end up with something like this. So let's see, let's just be funny and see what happens if we drop this in here. Okay, that's really weird looking. So we obviously, but let's see if it's just a mix. Add. Okay, so now we're going back to overlay here. We remove that, and this is going to become a displacement. So let's drop that in there. Okay. The way we can remove the height is bringing the black, I think. No, so yeah, so there we go. We just bring the white values and make it gray. And there we've got this kind of effect there with our sand. And finally we can take the color ramp, or bring in a new color ramp actually in here. Drop it in here, have a look at this, bring the black up and the white into it. Okay, so this is going to be a difficult one to it's like we're going to have one side more than the other, um, unless I duplicate this, bring that in, and then invert this, so bring the white here and the black there. And then I take this and mix these two in here. Yeah, I guess that could bring in a cool effect. Maybe overlay seem to do the trick. And yeah, this will become now our height map. So Shift A, bump, put that in here. Okay, and then we can drop that into the normal. Put the strength to 0.3, I think. Save one. So yeah, 0.4 maybe. And finally, what we can do just to improve the look of this is we can take this here, duplicate it, bring that to the top and that to the bottom. Just have a look at it. So yeah, we do something like that, and this becomes then our new displacements. Okay, so just to have a quick look at this, we can drop in a lamp, sun, just put it up, and just to have a quick look here, we can render. So yeah, that's how it would look. If I come have a look at this rock, it's a bit wet, so we can come here, give it like maybe 0.01, and yeah, so that's our sand and rock material. Now we can go back, and what I want to do is select this here, Control C, copy it. Then I'm going to select the mud now, create new material, call it mud. Delete this, paste that whole crazy thing in here, and finally we don't want, so that's the sand, this is, we don't want to use this, anything related to that anymore. And all this is then something like that. Okay, so that's obviously not what we want. Okay, so that just changed some things. That means I have to go back. Where'd you go? To hue, modifiers, and give it more depth again. And then we can go back to this. Okay, so okay, I see what's happening here. U something like that. Yeah, we need that. Okay, so I changed my mind. Yeah, this is gonna fuck things up, isn't it? So I didn't change my mind. Let's give it. Let's go here and just see what's this. That's the sand material. That's the mask. Okay, so I need to select all of this, control copy, go back to you, select all of this, delete, control V, drop that in there and that in there, and I want to remove this, and then I need to change the scale here to maybe 8 and 8. Okay, so that's fine. That's giving us the same kind of texture and stuff. Then all I think we need to do here is add a texture, noise texture, and over here now we're gonna go duplicate this, make this dark, like super dark, and then add that on top and put the noise in the faculty, and then we can play with the scale here, something like that, give it some detail and some distortion. Okay, this is becoming the new color and the new everything. Okay, and this part I'm gonna give it some specularity, so 0.3. Fuck. Sorry, I was changing the wrong one here. So less black, more white, less white, more black. Over here, and that's fine. Okay, so here we've got the muddy piece, and we obviously need to make some edits. So obviously this part shouldn't be intersecting, so okay, so it's not a very nice seam that we're getting there. Doesn't really look like a mud pile or anything. So yeah, my only other thing would be to delete that and yeah, fill this face in, and then redo the unwrap from the bounds. And yeah, it's really sad that we have to do all of this, but yeah, we'd have to come in here, go texture, paint, and make this completely white here. So don't know why everything else wasn't completely white, but anyway, we'll do that. Anyway, so now we got that, and yeah, this is weird. Why? Okay. Bringing my character back. Gonna have to redo this, or I can go into object mode, I think. Go to my material, take this texture, that should be the mask. Where is it? Sand mask, UV, and then So yeah, I rotate it to 90 and then it's fine again. I just need to go back here. It didn't update here for some reason. Into texture paint. And if I choose this texture here, let's just do it here, I think. So I'm going to so I need to change my brush to black. Hit 7 here. This isn't gonna work. I don't think so. No, I thought so. Okay, so I'm gonna have to completely recreate this mask. It's really annoying. I'm sorry, but I have to do it. So yeah, let's paint this black. I'm sorry guys, I'll provide these textures for you. I hope you guys didn't go through all the trouble like me to do this. I think I screwed it up this time, so I'm gonna come wider here in and okay, so that's fine. And then we can go back to the white and just kind of fix this up a bit. Make it look a bit better. Anyway, looks terrible, but whatever. Let's do the white here. Something like that, and go do the black here. Something like that. Okay, cool. Now that that's done again, we can go back to our material here, rotate 0, and there we go. We just need to save this now, F3 as our new image, and there we go. So now if we change this to material, all that's working, and then we'll just create the sandpit into a dynamic paint object in a certain part of the frame, causing this area to deform. Yeah, we'll definitely have the render, maybe have extra, put the preview down for now, the same with you. Preview can come down, render can be on 2. Render can be on 1 here actually, and then we can add a subdivision surface below that. It should look better. And we put the view down on 0, put the render on 1, and there we go. Now we can delete the sunlight and we're ready to start animating. I'm gonna we'll do it from this side. Okay, so I'm going to create our second character. So what I'm going to do is duplicate him with the rig, put him on a different layer and texture him a different color. I'll provide that in the next video when we start animating the scene.